Today was a conference which was for all schools in Haringey to come together, and we're talking about head teachers, staff, parents and governors to talk about ways in which we can work together in the light of the targeting that the government has started with 4 particular schools in Haringey: Downhills, Knoll Park, Coleraine and Nightingale. The idea is now to go from this conference with all the information that we have gathered to the local authority and to councillors, and also to resist what Gove is doing now to a number of other of our schools, which is putting them into having an Ofsted inspection, which has resulted in several schools of putting them into special measures. So we guess the next stage is that they will be forced academies to become academies. Well, one of the things that's come out of today is a considerable anger with the local authority, both the councillors and indeed the officers, for not having given sufficient support to the schools, but more than that, for not having identified what they were doing in private with the DFE, which was saying that the schools were agreeing that the schools were not doing particularly well, and saying basically that the department could come in and take them over. There's been a lot of information given today, both in the workshops and the different speakers, which we will disseminate and use in all our schools with the different groups to ensure that everybody's aware of what's been happening, but also of the bigger picture, the national picture, which was particularly picked up in the final session. And we had 3 speakers, one Jon Adams from the National Governors Council, and Ross McKibbin and Alistair Smith, talking about what's happening nationally. Well, first of all, we hope that everybody who came to the conference will talk about it, disseminate information, and come forward with ideas and help to support a further networking and further campaigning that we need to do. As you know, the Downhill School has put out a legal challenge to the government for removing their governing body, but we want to get schools working together, supporting each other, whether or not they are targeted by government, so that we can move forward as a community of schools, of parents and governors, to defend and promote our schools, many of whom are excellent and many of whom may have some difficulties or have many difficulties, but are nevertheless giving a good education to children in this borough. One of the main reasons for this is that this is a political ideology of the current Secretary of State, which is not about school improvement. It's about promoting private companies to run schools, destroying the state education system, and ensuring that the Secretary of State himself has control of all the schools. And we oppose that totally.